The gentleman from Texas, Mr. Paul.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I ask unanimous consent to revise and extend my remarks.
Without objection, so ordered.
Madam Speaker, I want to start my 5 minutes with a quote from Jefferson. Jefferson said, "No country, perhaps, was ever so thoroughly against war as ours. These dispositions pervade every description of its citizens, whether in or out of office. We love and we value peace, and we know its blessings from experience. We need this sentiment renewed in this Congress in order to avoid a needless war that offers us nothing but trouble. Congress must deal with this serious matter of whether or not we go to war. I believe it would be a mistake with the information that is available to us today. I do not see any reason whatsoever to take young men and young women and send them 6,000 miles off to a land to attack a country that has not committed any aggression against this country. I believe it would be a serious mistake for various reasons. First is practical reason. There is no practical defense for this. Our military now has been weakened over the last decade, and actually, when we go into Iraq, as we may well do, we will weaken our ability to defend our country. We do not enhance our defense by initiating this war. Besides, it's impractical because of the unintended consequences which none of us know about and what might come. We do not know exactly how this will last. It could be a 6-day war, a 6-month war, or 6 years, or even longer. It could be very impractical by going to war. There's a military reason for not going to war. We ought to just listen to the generals and the other military experts that are now advising us there's not a good reason to go to war. Possibly even start World War III, some have suggested. They claim our troops have been spread too thinly around the world, and it is not a good military matter to go into war today. There's a constitutional argument and a constitutional mistake that could be made. If we once again go to war, as we have done on so many occasions since World War II, without a clear declaration of war and a clear goal of victory, a haphazard way of slipping into war by executive order, or heaven forbid getting permission from the United Nations, makes it so that it is almost inevitable that true victory will not come. So we should look at this in a very constitutional fashion. We in the Congress should assume our responsibility, because war is declared by Congress, not by a president and not by a UN. So this is a very important matter, and I am delighted to hear that there will be hearings and discussion on this matter. I'm certainly arguing the case that we should have a balanced approach. We've already had some hearings in the other body, and we heard only one side of why we must do this. But if you have true hearings, you best have a debate and evidence on both sides of this matter, rather than just getting one side up and saying why we must do this. Actually, there's even good political reasons for not going into this battle. War is not popular. It may be popular for the short run when there seems to be an immediate victory and everybody's gloating over the victory. But war is not popular. People get killed and body bags end up coming back. War is very unpopular, and it is not the politically smart thing to do. There are economic reasons that we must be careful. We can make serious economic mistakes. It is estimated that this venture into Iraq may well cost over $100 billion. Our national debt right now is increasing at a rate of over $450 billion, and we're talking about spending another $100 billion on an adventure that we don't know what the outcome will be and how long this will last. What will happen to oil prices? What will happen to the recession that we're in? What's going to happen to the deficit? All kinds of economic ramification. So we better not make the mistake of going into something that really we have no business getting into. There's a diplomatic reason for not going. There could be a serious diplomatic mistakes made. All the Arab nations nearby and adjacent to Iraq object to it and do not endorse what we plan and or insist that we might be doing. And none of the European allies are anxious for this to happen. So diplomatically, we are way off on doing this. I hope we take a second thought and be very cautious in what we do.